There is a bank that settles $5 trillion every single day. You have never heard its name. It was created in 1930 inside a converted hotel in Basel, Switzerland. The hotel had heavy velvet curtains and polished brass doorknobs. A handful of men in dark suits gathered around a polished wooden table. They had one task that no government wanted to touch. Germany could not pay its war reparations after the First World War. The payments were crushing the European economy. Someone had to collect the money without triggering another collapse. So they built an institution that answered to no government on earth. They called it the Bank for International Settlements. Its first office had 6 rooms and a small vault in the basement. A single steel door guarded the gold ledger. Only 32 employees worked there. But from that hotel on Central Bahnstrasse, it began moving money no parliament could ever trace. Today, this sits inside an 18-story circular tower overlooking the Rhine River. Its curved glass windows reflect the gray Swiss sky and hide everything inside. The building has no public entrance visible from the street. A concrete perimeter wall surrounds the entire block. You cannot enter without an appointment cleared weeks in advance. 63 central banks now deposit their reserves there. The Federal Reserve sends dollars through encrypted channels. The European Central Bank sends euros. The Bank of Japan sends yen. At any given moment, over $400 billion sits inside its digital vaults. Every business day, the BIS settles cross-border payments worth $5 trillion. That is more than Germany's entire annual output for a single year. It flows through encrypted settlement accounts, hidden behind layers of cryptographic protection. No outside auditor has ever examined any of it. The institution has legal immunity under international treaty. Swiss police cannot step onto its premises. No court on earth can subpoena its records. No government can freeze its assets. It operates in a legal void deliberately built by its founders. Central bank governors fly into Basel every 2 months for closed-door dinners. They land at a small private airfield outside the city. Black sedans drive them to the tower after dark. They sit in a wood-paneled room on the 17th floor. No minutes are ever published. No press is allowed inside. The decisions made in that room change the interest rate on your mortgage within 48 hours. Do you know who writes the rules for every bank on earth? It is not your government. It is a committee that meets on the 14th floor of this tower. The Basel Committee on Banking Supervision sets the capital rules every commercial bank must follow. Raise the reserve ratio by 0.5% and trillions in lending vanish overnight. The rulebook runs 800 pages long. Most members of parliament have never opened it. Now let me tell you about the gold. The BS operates one of the largest gold trading desks on the planet. Central banks swap gold bars through its accounts without ever moving the physical metal. A single bar sits in the New York Federal Reserve vault beneath Manhattan. It changes legal ownership 20 times in 1 hour. The BIS tracks every transfer from a server room 2 floors below ground level. A gloved hand slides the bar into a numbered slot in the Zurich vault. The bar weighs 12.5 kilograms. At today's price, it is worth just over $800,000. In the time I said that sentence, another bar changed hands inside the system. But there is a darker chapter this institution keeps buried. During the Second World War, the BS continued operations without pause. It accepted gold shipments directly from the Nazi Reichsbank right up until May of 1945. Trucks arrived at the Basel courtyard under armed guard in the dead of night. The gold was counted and logged. Allied intelligence knew this was happening. They chose silence, because shutting down the settlement system would have collapsed wartime trade for both sides. After the war, the Allies gathered at Bretton Woods to redesign global finance. Delegates sat beneath crystal chandeliers in a New Hampshire hotel. A motion was passed to abolish the BIS entirely. Then the decision was quietly reversed. The institution was simply too useful to destroy. A faceless mannequin in a dark suit walks down a corridor lined with vault doors. He does not speak. He does not turn his head. He simply walks. His footsteps echo on the marble floor. That is what power looks like inside the BS. Today, the institution has reinvented itself as a research powerhouse. It studies central bank digital currencies on glowing screens. It runs war game scenarios where entire economies collapse inside a computer simulation. It builds climate risk models for the entire global banking system. It monitors cryptocurrency flows that cross borders at the speed of light. But its core purpose has never changed. The BIS moves money between the world's most powerful institutions. No single government can stop a single transaction. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is the text of its original charter from 1930. The next time you hear a central banker announce a major decision, remember where the meeting happened. Picture the circular tower in Basel with its curved glass windows reflecting the Rhine. The most important financial institution in the world sits on a quiet street in a Swiss city. Most people could not find it even with directions. And remember this final fact. $5 trillion move through its system today. None of it belonged to you, but every single transfer affected the price of everything you will ever buy.